No, he didn't.
No, and it's not giving me the button to even start it. Hold on. What is going on here? Uh-oh. Larry, you don't have the start broadcast button on your side, do you?
Yes, I do.
You do have it on your side?
I see it, yeah.
I don't know why it's on your side. All right, well, hit it.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody out there in Internet land. This is Cedrick-Harris coming to you live here from Tampa, Florida with the Numis-Network overview here today that we're going to give you some phenomenal nuggets. Before we get started, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me on this call. So if you can hear me, if someone could just type in yes. Just type in yes inside of the chat anywhere that you can hear me and we can rock and roll. Outstanding. We got yeses coming all over the place. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be myself, Mr. Larry Beacham, #1 income earner, Mr. Ray Higdon, and one of the founders of Numis Network, Mr. Chris Kent. I'm extremely excited about being on this webinar because just this weekend, we had the absolute unequivocal best Numis University to date this first week in January. Ladies and gentlemen, Numis Network released some information that is truly going to change the game inside of network marketing. You know, with Chris, Ian, and Jake having a very, very extensive experience inside of the network marketing industry, as well as with Chris and Ian on the programming and networking side when it comes down to building compensation plans, they came in and added some tweaks to this game, ladies and gentlemen, that, quite frankly, a lot of people that are listening to me right now that are on this webinar that have been inside of Numis, you've already gotten a raise without doing anything extra. So one of the things that we're going to do on this webinar is that we're going to bring Mr. Chris Kent out, and he's going to share a little bit about, you know, why Numis decided to add some things and why the timing is absolutely perfect and why this year is the year that the momentum is going to be truly, truly compounded. And then Mr. Ray Higdon, myself, and Mr. Larry Beacham, we're going to give you some reflections on the compensation plan and some of the enhancements, as well as we're going to pull the #1 income earner out of Canada, Mr. Erwin McKinn, to jump on this line. So we're going to start off here with one of my good friends and business partners, one of the founders of Numis Network, Mr. Chris Kent. Chris, take it away, my friend.
Well, thanks, Cedric. I appreciate it. And everybody listening out there that attended this past weekend's Numis University, you know what a blockbuster event it was. We had some of the most amazing speakers and trainers on stage that I've ever seen at a training event for a network marketing company. And I just want to congratulate you guys for taking the time to come down to Tampa. And if you happen to have missed it this weekend, you absolutely don't want to miss what we have in store for you coming up in Las Vegas in February. So we're very excited, obviously, Cedric. And, you know, our company really over the last 18 months has had the good fortune of having tremendous growth, even in a period in the network marketing industry that's been affected by this downturn in the economy. When you see companies out there struggling, we've had tremendous growth over the last 18 months. And you know, when we developed this concept of Numis Network, one of the things that we did not want to do is we didn't want to make the mistakes that so many other network marketing companies make. And one of the biggest ones that we see out there in the industry is companies taking away from representatives and creating compensation plans that pay out too much money in the beginning so that the company ultimately can't be healthy and support the representatives long term. So even though when we launched Numis Network, many, many people were attracted to our company because we had one of the most unique compensation plans in network marketing history. We were one of the first companies ever in history to combine the power of a binary and an infinity coded bonus. And so many people are attracted to that concept. And even though it was an awesome compensation plan, and it is an awesome compensation plan, we really designed it, and I've told a lot of our leaders as we were building, I said, you know, this compensation plan, guys, even though it's good and you guys are doing well, we've developed it very conservative because we want to make sure that the company is healthy and long-term. This is a long-term vision that we have at Numis Network. And after 18 months of data, what it allowed us to do is sit back and say, how can we improve the compensation plan? Where can we put more money into the compensation plan? And how can we create the ultimate career path in network marketing? And that's really what we've done. I think that, you know, with the help of some network marketing legends, we have really made the Numis compensation plan and enhanced it to be, in my opinion, the best compensation plan in the industry, bar none. And some of the new things that we've done is for the person that's just getting started in the business. Sometimes those people are overlooked, and all of the income is weighted towards the back end, towards the leaders. But we've created a brand new bonus that can pay people that are just getting started. So for that new person that's just getting started in the business, and maybe you only go out and enroll one representative, you can earn additional money downline. And we've added brand new rank advancement bonuses that are matching to the upline enroller and upline executives, and that's an exciting bonus. And we've added a new customer bonus. We've enhanced our binary matching bonuses. We've made the maintenance qualifications easier, and we've increased the customer bonuses on retail customers. So lots of major enhancements to the compensation plan, and I think everybody that was at Numis University this weekend, once they realized they had just received a 15 to 20% pay raise and some incredible opportunities on the back end with matching bonuses and infinity bonuses, everybody was very excited, obviously. Cedric?
Chris, you, Ian, and Jake definitely didn't hold back when it came down to the compensation plan. I was able to leave Numis University and, go home that night and start playing with numbers, and it kept me up for a little while. It started actually freaking me out when I started really dissecting it. And I said, these guys really know what they do. Oh, my goodness. So one of the things that we're going to do, I know you have a call, and a lot of people that are reps on here, we're going to be done by 9 o'clock. So I know there's another call that you have to get on, Chris, and I wanted to get you on here early, and share, some of your concepts and why Numis decided to do this and why this was a perfect timing. But before you leave, Chris, if you could, before you leave, because Ray and myself and Erwin and Larry are going to give everybody on this call, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you the new compensation plan and give you some nuggets on it so you are aware. But, Chris, if you could, really, you've got about, there's 200, as I see, there's 247 people listening to us on this webinar as we speak right now. With all the different opportunities that are in the land, because there's a gazillion opportunities in the land right now. We all know that. With all the opportunities that are in the land, as well as all the different compensation plans that are in the land inside of network marketing, why Numis and why right now, especially for the people who are looking to get rejuvenated as we go into a brand new year in 2011? Why Numis and why right now?
Well, number one, why Numis is because when you're looking at opportunities, as you've mentioned so many times, Cedric, it's really about timing. And because Numis is a category creator and we're doing something that's very unique in the industry, timing and having a product that really has no competition, that's why Numis, number one. I mean, there's no other opportunity out there. And if you look at it from just a pure economic standpoint, obviously we're still in a very rough time in our economy when there's so many people that are struggling and so many people that are unemployed. And the reason that so many other network marketing companies are struggling right now is because most of those products are considered a luxury. And with our product, although people look at gold and silver as maybe jewelry being a luxury, the reality is our product is an asset, and people understand that. And I think that people realize that in the tough times, that's when you need to be putting something away. And with our company, with our product, you're literally collecting an asset every single month. And it's something where you can join this exclusive club that we've put together, this exclusive Silver Coin of the Month club, and your product isn't going to be worthless in 5 years or 10 years. You're actually going to build a valuable collection over time and make money while you're doing it. The amazing part about our company that when looking at our statistics and our end of the year numbers is the millions and millions of dollars that we paid out last year in commissions. But what was so exciting is all of those folks also collected millions and millions of dollars in assets at the same time. So when you can do that in this type of economy, I believe that's why so many people are being attracted to Numis and why ultimately we'll hit momentum in the next 12 to 18 months. And obviously why now is because you obviously want to be in before momentum. You want to be in before critical mass in any company. That if you take a look at all of the successful companies in our industry, and there's some great companies in our industry, and you look at the people that have the largest checks in our industry, you'll find one thing very similar and in common with all of those folks is most of them, the majority, not all of them, it's not all across the board, but the majority of people that make big money in the network marketing industry, they get in with a solid company before momentum, before critical mass. And when you can do that, that's your best opportunity for success, to make big money in this industry, and to build a solid team that's going to be around for a long, long time.
You know what? You hit the nail on the head, Chris. And here's what's so ironic. I was just pulling up the numbers here on the GoToWebinar here really quickly. And normally when you schedule a webinar out there, you're going to get about 50+% of the people to show up. Ladies and gentlemen, 334 people registered for this webinar, and there's 269 people on here right now. I mean, that ought to give you a clue about timing, for number one. That ought to give you a clue that people are paying attention on what's happening. But when you have the leadership that you have in a company like you have in Numis Network, it's kind of hard to ignore. So, Chris, I thank you for jumping out here. I know you're a very, very busy man, and you got a lot of stuff going on. And if you can hang out with us, that'll be great. But I definitely appreciate you jumping on the call and sharing a few nuggets with the hundreds of people that we have on this call here today. And it was also phenomenal seeing you this weekend. We definitely appreciate the great Numis University that you was able to expose there with Jake and I.
Well, we appreciate you being a part of it, Cedric. We appreciate your leadership and look forward to an awesome future with you guys. And we appreciate all the leaders on here tonight. So thanks a lot for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, listen up really quick. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you've got a lot of different things that you could be looking at, obviously, money-wise and compensation-wise and product-wise and all that good stuff. And there's a lot of things that you have to look at when you're looking at a company. And one of the key things that you got to look at is leadership, obviously, for number one. And Numis brings a substantial amount of leadership to the GAME. But one of the things that I want to bring to everyone's attention as I log into the back office, and I know Ray does it, and Larry and every other leader that's on this call, you know, when I look at the retention and I look at the auto-ship and the type of people that, whether or not they're out there recruiting the whole world, they're still on auto-ship and they're still enjoying their product every single month, that should be a clue to every single person on this call. Secondly, you know, and I'm able to give a personal testimonial of this here from this weekend. You know, this weekend, at every Numis University, and one of the key reasons why you need to be there is that there's certain things that are released at Numis University that you do not have access to on your website at shopnumis.com, at numis-network.com, or anywhere else. It's just released at Numis U. And, you know, we had a set of coins at Numis U, ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely phenomenal. We're talking about an absolute 5-ounce silver quarter set that the Mint only made 33,000 of this whole set. Only 33,000 of the whole set. And for the Numis to be able to get their hands on some should tell you something, for number one. But for number two, to be able to have a product that I think that is probably the only network marketing product that Flavor Flav might join, because if you look at the size of this coin, it looks like a Flavor Flav clock. It is 5 pure ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, where else can you have a unique product like that? And we're releasing numerous more unique products as we speak. So definitely stay tuned. Now, before we jump into this comp plan, I want to pull out Ray here really quick. You know, and Ray and myself are going to kind of go back and forth on the new changes in the comp plan. But, Ray, you've attended every single Numis University since day one. What was so different about this Numis University than all of the 3 prior Numis Universities that you've attended?
You know, it's and thanks for having me on here, Cedric. We're excited to just ramp up 2011 and rock it out. Yeah, I have been a part of all 3 Numis University 3s, and I'm excited for our first West Coast version coming out next month in February in Las Vegas. That's pretty darn exciting. I know a lot of West Coast people are appreciative. A lot of people in Hawaii are going to be there. A lot of people from California, so that's pretty exciting. You know, this one, it was just so jam-packed with just great content and so full of powerful speakers. You know, we brought several people to the stage this time that had never been on a Numis University stage, such as, Erwin and Eva McKinn. They taught on how to do meetings in your area. We had Kenneth and Lisa Bristol do a fun little compensation plan game where you actually had fun learning the different bonuses. We had some killer show specials, and let me tell you, I don't think too many people in America or even in the world walk into their place of business after being there for a year or 18 months in this kind of economy to a pay raise. I mean, typically you're going into work right now hoping you still have a job if you are one of the people that still have a job. And but instead we walked in and said, "Hey, congratulations, guys! Some of you just rank advanced, and almost all of you just got a huge pay raise." And that is just powerful to understand. And this comp plan, this is something that it doesn't just benefit the leaders. I mean, it certainly does, but it's not just for the leaders. It also benefits that person out there just getting started, just starting to bring people on board to accomplish ranks easier and to get bonuses that they never got before. So Numis University, if you haven't been to one, it's not something we can really explain over the webinar. And I can tell you, I just got off the phone with my friend Diane in Fort Myers, Florida, and she came from Numis University. She had not signed up anyone yet, and guess what, Cedric? She just signed up her first person, and it's directly from what she learned at Numis University. So this is something that, it's better to tell you about the results of Numis University than to try to tell you how great the actual Numis University is. I can just tell you, I see people go there, and I see people get results.
You hit the nail on the head, and every time I see someone go there, you're absolutely right. I definitely see the results and the different things that they learn, and I thought it was so critical that I think a lot of people knew that I was speaking at the MHT event in Dallas, Texas this weekend, and I thought that the Numis University was so important and the amount of people that are there that I flew into Texas on Friday morning and turned around and booked another flight and flew out Friday night so I can get to Numis University on Saturday and Sunday. That's how important and how really, really information-packed this particular Numis University, this Numis U was, as well as you definitely want to be at the next one. Now, we have more people that have actually joined the webinar, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and get into the fun part because I know a lot of you are waiting for this. And first thing first, I want to make sure that everybody is aware. If you log into your back office, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you log into your numis-network.com back office, you're going to see a big banner right there in the middle of the page. It's going to talk about the new comp plan changes and a new link that you can click that can show you the exact same thing that I am looking at right now as we speak. So if you want to follow along with us, all you need to do is just log into your numis-network.com website, and you'll see it right in the middle of your page right there in the back office. So I see that Chris is still on here with us. So Chris, if you can jump in, that'll be great, kind of help us out back and forth. And then Ray and myself, we're going to kind of bounce back and forth on this new comp plan, ladies and gentlemen. So let's rock and roll and get into it. All right, so we've got the chart on the page here. And obviously the first thing that you see is an associate, and I'm not sure what that is. I don't think a lot of you know what that is either, so we're not even going to get into that. Let's talk about executive.
Hey, Cedric.
Executive? Yeah.
Cedric, we should probably say just one thing about associate. The associate, the $75 option, there actually has been a significant change to that in that an associate,
you're right. You know what? I'm sorry.
You no longer earn a fast track bonus. This comp plan is designed to really help the people that want to build their business and are serious. And so if you're an associate and you enroll an executive, you used to get the $100 bonus. You no longer get that. Now, let me, before we're up in arms, I talked to Chris and the guys at corporate office. Out of 15,000 reps, that has only happened 5 times. So if you're an associate, it's highly unlikely you're able to enroll an executive anyway. And so it doesn't really, it's not really that big of a deal. We know people that are serious about building a business are going to come on board as an executive.
Good point, Ray. Very good point. I'm glad you brought that up, my friend. Glad you brought that up. I have a couple people saying that it's kind of hard to hear. Can everybody hear Ray and myself clear enough? I just turned up the volume on me. I want to make sure that everybody can hear. So if you could type in, somebody said no, audio is breaking, no, yes, 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 I can, no, barely, Cedric, yes, yes, Mike, yes, you, yes. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, can everybody hear me better now? Am I clear now, or am I still fading in and out? I hear yes, 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 clear, much better. All righty, let's rock and roll. Okie dokie. So next level is obviously executive. So as an executive, that is the $495 level as normal, okay? $495 as normal, you're going to be able to qualify for your retail commissions. You still have your 10% customer bonus. You qualify for your fast track level bonus. And Chris, if you could a little bit, because some people might not understand what this 10% customer bonus is. Okay, so before we even go into the rest of the ranks, let's talk about the 10% customer bonus really quick, if you could, Chris. Do we have Chris still here?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, I'm back. One of the things you always talk about, Cedric, in your trainings is there's only two things that we make money in network marketing. That's retail and recruiting. And there's actually, there's actually four ways to make money in this business. And number one is retail. Number two is recruiting. Number two is building managers and building leaders. And that gets into the business building side. But when you break it down, it comes down to retailing and recruiting. And retail, this customer sales bonus of 10%, that's a brand new bonus. That did not exist. We had retail commissions that you earned off of people that bought product from your website, but we did not have a customer sales bonus on preferred customers that you signed up yourself. So that's a brand new 10% that did not exist until today. So that's a new bonus. The fast track level bonus at the executive level, we had that before, but it was only on your personal enrollees. So in other words, the fast track bonus only paid on personal enrollees. Now that pays up to 3 levels of enrollees. So that's a brand new, that's the same bonus, just now we've added 3 levels to it in addition to your own personal enrolled.
For stuff for everybody. I hope you got that, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that 10% is on top of the spread that you're getting in between the retail and which you get your coins for. So if someone buys a coin off of your website, ladies and gentlemen, they pay $129.95 for the coin, and we get the coin for $99.95 or whatever the case may be. That $30 difference is the commission. It's a 10% bonus on top. On top, okay, that's a big deal. Okay, on the customer side. So everybody remember that, because customers are definitely important inside of this industry. Now, as a one-star qualification, what does it take to become a one-star right now? It takes a whole whopping 1 rep. We made it really simple for you. 1 star, 1 rep. You personally enroll 1 rep. You are now a 1-star. You qualify for the retail commissions, the 10% customer sales bonus, as well as the fast track bonus. Hey, Ray, you want to jump into 2-star?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's awesome about this is there's a lot of people on the line and in Numis Network as a whole that actually just increased their rank. Because in the past you had to enroll 2 people to be considered a 1-star. Now, 1 person, you've enrolled 1 executive, you are a 1-star, and that's pretty cool. So to be a 2-star, you need to have one on each leg. That's 1 executive in your left, 1 executive in your right, and you are considered a 2-star. Now, the old comp plan, you had to enroll 3. So that actually got easier too, and a lot of people in our company just got upgraded as well. So that's 1 on the left, 1 on the right. You then qualify to start earning in the binary, start earning 10% of your pay leg, which we'll talk about here shortly. And that's as simple as 2-star.
Absolutely. And you've got the $1,000 weekly binary max, so you're able to make up to $1,000 a week inside of the binary. Now, as a 3-star, this is where it gets really, really fun. Okay, and as a 3-star, all you need is 3 executive legs. Now, what do we mean by 3 executive legs? All right, now, I want to pull Chris out really, really quick. Okay, so because one of the things that we inside of the comp plan, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of this was based off of personals. 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, personals. Now it's not based off of the personals. we made it so that as you're duplicating, as other people are doing things, you're able to capitalize off of that. So, Chris, can you talk about the executive legs, and so people know the difference between them personally enrolling someone versus it being an executive leg?
Yeah, absolutely, Cedric. And understand the concept here is, as the folks, especially the folks that are on the line right now that are involved in Numis Network, I want you to understand that the concept was to create a more well-defined career path in our compensation plan, to make the maintenance requirements to maintain a rank easier, and make it where your team could help you stay qualified instead of it just all being up to you. So, for example, at the 3-star level, you used to have 6 executives active at the 3-star level. Well, we all know that there's possibilities that you could have attrition over time. So if you enrolled 6 and 1 dropped out, well, then you'd have to put another one in to get back to that 3-star status. So now, instead of having 6 personals, you just have to have 3 executive legs, which means to have 3 executive legs, it means that at some time you would have had to sponsor 3 executives. But if that one of those executives fall out and you have somebody below them, you're able to count that anyway because it's still an active executive leg. So it means it's not all up to you. It's about building teams, and that's really where we get into the higher level compensations. As we go through this explanation here, you're going to see that once you get out of your basic star ranks, then we're going to talk about manager levels, and then once you become a manager, the next goal is then to become a leader, and then we have our leadership pay ranks.
Outstanding. And I hope everybody really, really got that, because you went out as an old 3-star and you personally sponsored 6 people, and all of a sudden, you know, that one of those persons fall off or one of them fell off or whatever the case may be. Now, if they still have people active in their leg, ladies and gentlemen, that counts. It's just 3 executive legs. It's not all the way up to you now. That's a big deal. You still qualify for the retail commissions. You've got the customer sales bonus, the fast track bonus, the binary is at 10%. Your binary weekly max is now doubled to $2,000 a week now instead of $1,000 a week at the max. You have the binary matching that has been increased dramatically that we're going to talk about. You're able to qualify for the legacy bonus. All the old bonuses that we had, they haven't gone anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. They're still there. It's just been enhanced. All those bonuses are still there. Okay, so next thing that we're going to get into is some of these different levels that you haven't noticed before. This is where it's going to start to get a little different. And Ray, you want to start off with the 3-star manager, then we kind of go flip-flop back and forth?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and this, you know, one thing that that Numis recognized is that there was such a big gap between 4-star and 5-star, and then also, you know, 1 through 4 was all just based on who could recruit. You know, not everyone can recruit 6 people, 12 people, 15 people, etc. And so what they've really, I mean, Chris just said it, but the key term here is career path. We now have a full career path. This is not just a comp plan. This is a career path. You now know exactly what you need to do for the next level, and it has to do with working with your team. You don't have to be super recruiter to build this business. In fact, you can hit the top level of this comp plan by recruiting 6 people. If you help them and bring in the right kind of people, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I don't think there's too many comp plans out there that's like that. But the 3-star manager, you have 4 executive legs, and as Chris Kent just explained, that means at one time or another, you recruited at least 4 executives. Okay, now you have to have 4 executive legs. So at least if someone is dropped off and they have active people underneath them that stayed, well, that would still count as a active leg. Of those 4 executive legs, you need 2 1-star legs. So that means 2 in 2 of the 4 executive legs, you have to have 1 person that is sponsored, 1 person. Now here's another kicker. They don't have to be personal to you. Okay, that's really cool. So if you enroll Joe that enrolls Tony, well, actually, with being a 1-star, I guess they'd have to be personally enrolled to you because they had to sponsor somebody. But you just have to have 2 of those people have signed 1 person, okay? And we introduced the concept here of PLV4. Now, you're going to see that repeated throughout this matrix here, this career path. PLV4 means pay leg volume over the course of 4 weeks. And so you have a total of 1,000 pay leg volume over the current and the last 3 weeks. You become a 3-star manager. Now that gets you have all the same bonuses as before. You can earn up to $4,000 a week in the binary. You then qualify for the foundation matching bonus. That is your first 3 executives that you brought on board. Now keep in mind, you used to have to recruit 6 people to get that foundation matching bonus. Now you recruit 4, have 2 that go 1 star, just enroll 1. You now can qualify for that foundation match. Now, Cedric, if you can scroll down just a little bit. And I want to show you a whole new bonus here. All right, now check this out. Scroll up, there we go. All right, if you look, the rank advance bonus. Guys, this is a totally new bonus, brand new. None of you, unless you were at NumisU, you've never seen this before. When you hit 3-star manager, which is just recruit 4, and 2 of those recruit 1, 1,000 pay leg volume over the course of 4 weeks, you get a one-time $100 bonus. That's a rank advancement bonus. Now the neat thing is it's matching. So if you are a 3-star manager, when you hit 3-star manager, you make $100. If you help somebody that you recruit, if you help somebody become a 3-star manager, they receive a $100 bonus, you receive a $100 bonus. That's awesome. Now here's what you just have to understand. The only thing there is you have to be a 3-star manager to receive that match. And so let's say you are a 3-star manager, you recruit 1 person that only recruits 1 person, but that second person becomes a 3-star manager. Well, when they become a 3-star manager, they're making a $100 bonus. It passes the 1-star, and that $100 bonus comes to you. And so this is something that really greatly encourages you to follow the career path, follow down the line, so that you don't miss any of these bonuses. But it's a completely additional bonus that they've added here, which you'll see that bonus, just to give you a preview of what's to come, that bonus actually goes all the way up to $50,000. And we're going to show you that here in a few slides.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that everybody understands that, because there's a lot of people that, you become that 3-star manager. Some of you are already 3-star managers just by osmosis. Okay, so as other people are promoting inside of your team, you're going to make that $100 bonus. When they become a 3-star, they make the 100, you make the 100. So you definitely want to rank advance through the ranks. And if you have anybody within your team, if you are a 3-star or higher, and they have people that qualify as 3-star and they aren't 3-star, that $100 bonus is rolling up to you. So that's a really, really big deal.
Hey, Cedric, can I jump in real quick? Can I jump in and say something about that? One of the things to remember, and everybody listening to the call right now and to the webinar, one thing to remember is that is a brand new bonus, and none of the current bonuses that are in our compensation plan have changed. None of the current bonuses were taken away. Everything was just added to, and that's very important when you're looking at this. Also, for 95% of the people that are in Numis Network right now, for 95%, it may be even higher than that, you will either be at the rank you're currently at, or you will rank advance automatically through these new qualifications. Now, there could be 1 or 2 people out there where you're going to be at a lower rank because of the new qualifications, but here's what we did. We are going to keep all of the old qualifications intact for 6 months, just so if there's anybody out there that happened to move down a rank because of the new qualifications, you actually won't move down a rank because you have 6 months to qualify at the new rank. So we didn't want this to affect anybody at all in our entire company in a negative way. So like I said, for 95% of the people, maybe even higher, it's going to be, you're going to rank advance, and there might be a few people out there that it affects in a negative way, but that they won't, because of 6 months you have to qualify at the new qualifications.
Chris, I'm so glad that you actually chimed in, because how many companies, ladies and gentlemen, would allow you to be in that spot for 6 whole months? 6 of them. I mean, if they did anything, it would be like 2 weeks. You got 3 days. You got 48 hours. You got 6 months. Talk about generosity. Nah, you couldn't ask for more there.
And understand, Cedric, that when we looked at it, Cedric, we realized it's going to be so few people. I mean, it really will affect very few people that way. But we didn't want it to affect anybody in a negative way at all.
Good point. I'm so glad of that, Chris, and y'all really thought about everybody on that. I wanted to key in on a question really quick that somebody said that audio got lost a little bit. What did the PL4 mean? That is pay leg volume for 4 weeks. 1,000 in pay leg volume for 4 weeks. So that's 250 points in volume a week, ladies and gentlemen, over a 4-week period. That's not hard. I mean, not by a long shot. So PLV, pay leg volume, for 4 weeks. Next position that we want to talk about is 4-star manager. Okay, 4-star manager, 4 executive legs. So we all know what executive legs are and how you qualify for that now. And all you need is 2-star executive legs. That's it. So 4 executive legs and 2-star executive legs. So 2 people who personally enrolled 2. That's it. No more that you need 12 people personal. Okay, 2,500 in pay leg volume for 4 weeks. 2,500 in pay leg volume for 4 weeks. So 625 points a week for 4 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a 4-star manager. As a 4-star manager, retail commissions, 10% customer sales bonus. You've got your fast track bonuses. You've got your 10% binary. Your binary weekly max has been increased from 4,000 to 10,000. You still have the binary matching bonus, which has been increased dramatically, and we're going to show you that here in a minute. You have your legacy matching bonus still in place, but now you still have your foundation, your satellite bonus, but now instead of a $100 rank advance bonus, you have a $250 rank advance bonus. So when you become a 4-star manager, you're going to receive a $250 bonus, and the 4-star manager that is above you is going to receive a $250 bonus. So if your sponsor, for an example, you became a 4-star manager, and your sponsor is a 4-star manager, he or she is also going to receive a $250 bonus. If your sponsor is not a 4-star manager, the computer is going to look up to the next 4-star manager and pay that person the $250 matching bonus. That, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very cool. So for those people who are wondering whether or not it rolled up, there you go, because I saw that question that just came in. Okay, so it is going to roll up to the next qualifying 4-star manager that is a matching bonus. And ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind, this is all in addition to the current comp plan. Fast track bonuses, coded bonuses, satellite bonuses, foundation bonuses, 5-star bonuses, 6-star bonuses, all those things are still in place. This is an addition. Let's go down a little further and get a little bit more excited. Okay, let me answer one quick question really quick. Someone typed in, what is 400 QV as an executive? When you sign up as an executive, ladies and gentlemen, your executive kit is 400 QV. So that person that typed in that question, as soon as you sign up as an executive, you have
Cedric,
that.
Let me add to that, because you actually have options to when you sign up a rep, they can choose the fast track collector kit, which has 400 QV, and just become an executive like you normally would, or they can get 400 QV by ordering products. So for example, you would have to order, you'd have to have like 7 coins. You'd have to order 7 coins to get 400 QV. So like, let's say somebody did become an associate and they said, okay, I want to order 7, and that would be $700 they would pay instead of the $420 for the fast track collector's kit. So, the easiest way to do it is just to be a fast track collector kit the way that we've always done it. But they do have options in addition to that. And this is all one of the things that, we'll kind of let out here, because we have so many people on this webinar, is that, we're setting up this compensation plan, and all of these enhancements are with a long-term goal in mind of bringing out additional things to pay you through this compensation plan, and making the compensation plan set up to bring out bigger, larger, bonuses and more product later on down the line. So now the comp plan is perfect for that.
You hit it, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I couldn't have said it better. It's coming from one of the founders. I mean, think about this for a second. As that exec, you just come in as a regular exec, $495, you qualify. Or if you had someone come in as an associate, if they came in as an associate, that would be right around 7 coins. Okay, so remember, just sign them up as an exec and keep it moving. If they want to get promoted to exec, 7 coins. That's what it's going to take. All righty, so next thing. Let's go into this next thing. Ray, you want to jump into 4-star director, brother?
Yeah, man, let's do it. And I also one thing, if you can just scroll up slightly to the rank advance bonus there, said, I just want to share with you guys. Let me run a scenario for you. Let's say you're a 3-star manager and you bring on board a 4-star manager. Okay, let's say you're a 3-star manager, you bring somebody on board and they become a 4-star manager. Well, they're going to earn a $250 commission, and then you actually are going to earn $100. The remainder $150 floats up to the next 4-star manager or higher. Just so you know, so you actually do get a fractional percentage based on what rank you're at. Now, if you're a 2-star, you don't get any of that $250. That floats all the way up to whatever manager. So you want to make sure you do rank advance. But I just wanted to throw that out there. And that rule is true of everything below that we're going to talk about, all the rank advance. So we won't go through them every single time, but just know that if you're a 3-star manager and someone becomes 4-star manager, you're going to get $100 out of that $250.
And Ray, let me throw in a quick asterisk before you go into the 4-star manager. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a lot of information that we're disclosing to you right now. And obviously, everybody might not absorb every single portion of this. Remember, you have access to this right in your back office. But secondly, I'm going to use the quote of Mr. Burt Hedges. Go out and put in 10,000 people in the downline, and trust me when I tell you, you'll figure out your comp plan.
That's
Go out and
absolutely
put
right.
in reps.
Well, and it's
You'll
like,
figure it out.
yeah, and it's like my story. I mean, I was in, I was 5 months in, and I had my first $10,000 month before I understood the comp plan. Just know that it's lucrative. Know that you get out there, you do the work, you're going to get compensated. But now the only difference is we now have a career path that you just follow. You just work at it step by step and rank advance as often as you possibly can. And there's no more big chasms, and there's no more requirement for being a super duper heavy recruiter. Now you just follow the career path.
That's it. And there's one big point in here, Ray, that I think everybody should hit that I want to mention. And it's right here in the middle. I want everybody to look at this. To maintain qualifications for 2-star rank and higher, you must maintain at least 2 personally enrolled active execs. Both may be in the same leg.
Mm-hmm. That's huge.
To maintain 2-star rank and higher, those 2 personals that you normally needed, one on the left and one on the right, it was always set up that you needed one on the left and one on the right. Well, to maintain rank of 2-star and higher, you need 2 reps, and they can be in the same leg. That's a big deal.
That is, I've never seen. Go ahead, Chris.
Let me talk about that, Cedric. Because that's something that that really is kind of innovative. You don't see too many companies that do that these days, and it's. I think you will over time, though. You'll see some companies start to adopt this because it's really the fair thing to do, because we know that in a binary, you're going to put one on the left and one on the right, and then one leg is going to take off on you. That's just the way it works. I mean, that's just the way this compensation plan produces. And when you have a big leg, or you have a real strong leg, and then you have a leg that you're working on, and you've been working on it, and you're working real hard, and then if somebody happens to drop out in your strong leg and you don't have somebody active there, to then sacrifice and put a brand new recruit over there where you really don't want to be working as much, it's tough to do that, and it's not fair to the person that's building. So this change and this qualification, again, it goes in line with making the qualifications easier to maintain so that we can pay more people and pay longer, and then it's just a lot fairer long term to the people that are out there building their business.
And Chris, I mean, I know you and I have created a substantial amount of comp plans out there, but bro, I got to admit, I haven't seen any comp plan that said that. I mean, you said there might be somebody else. I haven't seen it.
Well, I think you'll see companies start to move towards that, because if you think about it logically, it just makes sense, and it's a more fair way to do it. And I think you'll see some other companies following suit long term, because when we're out there talking about our comp plan, it's just one of the things that's going to stick out, that's going to be different than other companies. That's going to be a lot better. So, hey, Cedric, man, I've got to check out here and get ready for my next call. I appreciate you guys having me on here tonight, and look forward to seeing you guys real soon.
Hey, thanks you for jumping on, Chris. Thanks a lot.
All right, you guys take care.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye-bye. Got it. And Chris said a key word, ladies and gentlemen, other companies following suit, because right now as we're on this webinar, I don't know of any companies that say two in the same leg. I mean, I might be mistaken, but it is what it is. But this is a win-win. So, Ray, jump into 4-star director, because we got a couple of them on the line already, and they don't even know it.
Absolutely, and there were several. I don't even want to say several. There were lots of people that did rank advance from 1-star, 2-star, etc. 4-star director. Now, one of the deals, one of the things that I really noticed as I was growing my business is that there was such a huge gap between 4 and 5-star, and so I would actually see people. They'd be motivated, they would get pumped up, they would reach 4-star. And then they would kind of stop. They would kind of stop because they didn't feel that they could, build it enough to reach 5-star. Well, now you have stepping stones. You have a career path to get there. So let me talk to you about 4-star director. The requirements. You have 4 1-star legs. Keep in mind they don't have to be active personals to you. But they do have to be separate legs. That's 4 executive legs. Every time you recruit an executive, that creates a new leg. Even though we're still talking about the 2 legs of a binary, so don't get confused here. 2 of those legs, you have to have a 3-star manager in them. Which we covered the 3-star manager requirements. You can see that in the sheet. By the way, like Cedric says, this sheet that we're going off is in your back office right now. So don't. You may have it up right now or not. That's fine, but you can always go and download it. And I actually created today. I created a whiteboard video of my my take on the compensation plan. I broke it down on my whiteboard. I'll be putting that out probably tomorrow. Maybe probably tomorrow I'll be able to do that along with this recording, along with the attachment that we're looking at. And so let's look at the deal here. Well, you got all the same bonuses. However, I want you to notice something. Look at the binary percentage. Never before have I seen any company that paid more than 10%, nor had Numis Network until this week and until today, actually. Now, as a 4-star director, you no longer earn 10%, you earn 11%. Now, you may think, well, you know what, that's only 1%. Well, guys, as you build your business, that's pretty serious. In fact, I have several people on my team right now that make well over $1,000 a week in the binary. Now they're getting an additional 1% every single paycheck. That's a big deal. Now, the binary you can max out, and if for those people may not even know this, but our past binary max out was $75,000 a month. Okay, that was the old max out, and you can see here now you can actually make, if you go all the way across to Gold Ambassador, brand new level, you could actually make all the way up to over $200,000 a month now. So that's more than doubled there. As a 4-star director, the max is $15,000. If we scroll down just a little bit there, said. Oh, and by the way, you need 5,000 PLV4. You can read it on the screen there. That means over a 4-week period of total of accumulated 5,000 points in your pay leg volume. You get of course, you get all the regular bonuses, the binary, the legacy, the founding. Nothing really new there. You scroll down a little bit more, and rank advance bonus. You hit 4-star director, you get a one-time $500 bonus, and then that $500 bonus floats up to the closest 4-star director or higher above you. And if you are a 3-star manager or above, you do get a piece of that pie, but totally new bonus that they've rolled out for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is big again, and that bonus also rolls up. It rolls up. So again, if you want qualified at that level, it's going to roll up to that next person. You obviously get a piece of it. depending on what level that you're at, as long as you're past the 2-star level. But again, it's not that hard to become a 4-star director, and there's people on this call that are already 4-star directors. And 5,000 POV over that 4-week period, that's over a 1-month period. That's a 1-month period, so break that down in a 4-week period. Now, let's start having some fun and get into these promotions here. 5-star director, you know, a lot of people that are on this call saying, hey, how do I become a 5-star? How do I override the whole company? Is it easier to become a 5-star right now? Well, before I get into this, Ray, do you think it's easier to become a 5-star right now?
Well, I mean, you just look at the numbers. You know, you look at the numbers, and the answer is absolutely. I mean, think about it. If you look at the pay leg volume, that's 15,000. If you break that down, that's an average of about 250 in your pay leg. It used to be a hard requirement that you needed 300. Now, you actually, if you had people, I have lots of people that order more than 1 coin a month, so that means I could have it as low as 200 people in my pay leg. If they're, you know, if people are ordering more than 1 coin, the old requirements for 5-star is you had to have 300 in your pay leg, had enrolled 15 people, and had 10 personal, okay, not an executive leg, but personal 3-stars. Those are tough requirements. This, which you'll go over, is it's a whole lot easier.
Made it a whole lot more simpler for you, so let's break it down for you, ladies and gentlemen. You need 5 1-star legs. 5 1-star legs. So what is that? That's 5 personals, right? 5 1-star legs. 2 people, 2 4-star managers, I'm sorry. So 2 4-star managers. So what is a 4-star manager again? Let's pull back up here really quick. You need 2 4-star managers. So you need 2 people that have 2 2-star legs. That's it. Once you accomplish that, and you have 15,000 in total pay leg volume for a 4-week period, you got your retail commissions, your sales bonus, your fast track bonus. Your binary is now 11% instead of 10%. Your weekly binary max is going from 15 grand to 20. You still have your binary matching, your legacy, your foundation, your satellite, and you're going to get that 1 share of that pool, just like we get right now, to be able to override the company. But you're going to also receive a $1,000 rank advance bonus that is a matching bonus. That means that if you become a 5-star, your sponsor, you're going to receive 1,000, and your sponsors are going to receive 1,000, and whoever that 5 stars up, you're going to roll up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you want to become a 5-star now, and it's a whole lot simpler to become it and override the whole company. So now it can be people in anybody's organization anywhere on the planet, and you're getting a piece of the pie. And there's something that I want to key in really quick that to make sure that everybody's on the same page of when it comes down to this volume. Okay, just so everybody's on the same page, just at Numis University alone, ladies and gentlemen, and remember we do these every 6 weeks, just at Numis University alone, you're going to always, every single time, pick up significant volume if you've got reps coming to this and coming to Numis U. You need reps always coming to Numis U, as many as you can, because you're going to be able to pick up volume there as people take advantage of the specials. And there are some specials that carry some significant volume. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a very, very, big deal when it comes down to this comp plan. So, again, $1,000 bonus and $1,000 bonus that's rolling up, which is a matching bonus. Now, it's only fair that the #1 income earner, that is the only 6-star and the only company, review what it takes now to become a 6-star, because it's been lowered again. Ray had to jump through a couple of loops, ladies and gentlemen, to become 6-star, and because he is an extremely hard worker and dedicated, and the man doesn't shake his magnifying glass, he got it done. But now as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, it's a whole lot simpler to become 6-star. It's a whole lot simpler to become a BMW. To become a BMW. To get a BMW. So Ray, go ahead and jump into that 6-star director, my friend, and tell him what it takes to hit that level here.
Absolutely. Let's see. 6-star director, it used to be that you had to have all the requirements of 5-star director. So you had to personally recruit 15 people, have 10 personal 3 stars or higher. That's really tough to maintain, and there's a that's tough to maintain. No matter how big your team is, for them to be personal to you and to be 3-star, pretty tough to maintain. That's what it used to be, and you had to have 150,000 personal volume. Now, that didn't have to be on your pay leg, but it had to be personally tied to you, right? So now the qualifications are, I mean, I don't know if it's half, but it is definitely a lot less. So you will see, I guarantee you, you know, there's going to be anywhere from 2 to 5 people hit 6-star this year. I guarantee that. So I may be the first, but I'll be known as one of the slowest guys to do it, because now, hey, it's a lot easier, and we're growing faster now. And so to hit 6-star, you need 6 1-star legs. So that means all you've had to recruit is 6 people if you got the right people and help them. So 6 1-star legs, 2 4-star directors, which you can review your sheet to, you know, to get that. I don't want to keep scrolling back up and forth, but 2 4-star, oh, it's right over there actually. But 2 4-star directors, which means 4 1-star legs and 2 3-star manager legs, right? And 40,000 total PLV4. So that's an average of 10,000 on your pay leg each week for 4 weeks. You are a 6-star. And as a 6-star, you go from, so I just got a little raise. I went from, I was making 10% last week. Now I make 11.5% on my pay leg. Thank you, Numis. That doesn't happen in this kind of economy very often, where you walk in after 18 months and get an actual raise, but we appreciate it. The binary weekly max is $25,000. You get all the other bonuses that we talked about. You get the, and we'll scroll down just a little bit here, but you get the, you know, the binary match, the legacy match. And by the way, you want to stick around for that binary match, because that's hugely different, okay? You also get 1 share of the fast track leadership pool, just like 5-star, and of course you get the car allowance. That's the BMW car allowance, where they give you a car allowance to lease a BMW 6 or 7 series. Has to be silver. I have mine in my garage. It's a $100,000 car. It's 4 times better than any car I've ever had. You guys want Beamers, all right? People ask me all the time, man, that's a nice car. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it for free. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, let me show you. So you want that. It's a great prospecting tool. You know, I joke with Jake because, you know, his has a couple different sportier options, but, well, he paid for his. The rank advance bonus. Now, when you hit 6-star director, you get a one-time $5,000 bonus. Okay, and then that also goes to the highest 6-star director above you. Keep in mind, let's say you're a 5-star. Let's say you're a 5-star director and you recruit somebody that becomes a 6-star director. Well, you're going to get $1,000, and the remainder 4,000 will float up.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, key in on this, because this is a big deal. I mean, just like Ray said, there's going to be more people that are going to be hitting 6-star. There's going to be a significant amount of people hitting 5-star. I'm talking a significant amount of people, and I know some of them are already on the line. Now, here's what we're going to do for the sake of time, because I want to get through some of the rest of these very, very significant bonuses that we have in place. Mm-hmm. Remember, everybody, that this document is inside of your back office, so you can log in and look inside of your back office and see all of this, but I'm going to go through the last 3 ranks here pretty quickly, you know, so everybody's on the same page. We've added 3 new ranks. So, did you say something, Ray?
No, I was agreeing with you, yes.
Okay.
Especially, I don't think there's too many people on that are getting close to ambassadors, so we could probably go fairly quickly.
Yeah, Dad, we're going to blow through that really quick. So, as an ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, that's 6 2-star legs, 2 5-star director legs, 100,000 in pay leg volume. You're going to get all the additional bonuses as normal. Your binary weekly pay max went from 25 to 30, as well as you have 2 shares inside of the fast track leadership pool instead of 1. And there's a $10,000 rank advancement bonus instead of the $5,000 rank advancement bonus. Silver ambassador, that's 6 3-star legs, 2 6-star director legs, 250,000 to pay leg volume. You're now at 12% binary, 35,000 weekly binary max, 2 shares in the pool, $25,000 rank advance bonus that is matching, as well as gold ambassador, 6 4-star manager legs, 500,000 in your pay leg volume, 12.5% in binary, 50,000 binary weekly max, 3 shares inside of the fast track leadership pool, and a $50,000 rank advancement bonus that is a matching bonus.
Cedric,
All right, so
Cedric, I can't wait to see your face on stage when you get that $50,000 check.
I can't wait to see it either. That is a picture moment. That is a picture moment, my friend. Now we're going to scroll down here really quick to show y'all something that's new. Okay, show y'all something that's new here really quick. That's really, really cool. And Ray, I can do this or you can do it. It really doesn't matter. We can, you know, we got. I want to be on this webinar for about maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So just hold tight because we want to get through the rest of these so everybody's on the same page. So here, I'll just blow through it really quick. We've added an actual unilevel bonus inside of Numis-Network now. So what do we mean by adding a unilevel bonus? Okay, this unilevel bonus is going to start at the 1-star level. So as soon as you are promoted to the 1-star level, that means you have a whole whopping what? 1 rep. Okay? Let's say that 1 rep, his name is Joe. Okay? You sponsor Joe, you make $100. Alrighty? Joe goes out and brings in Ray. Okay, you're going to make a $10 bonus on top of that. On top of that, now, before, inside of your 1-star code, before, if Joe went out and sponsored someone, you didn't make any money. You didn't make anything until you got promoted to 3-star. You had to get promoted to 3-star to even match anything. Okay, now you have a unilevel bonus that you're going to get a $10 bonus on level 2 and a $10 bonus on level 3. And this again starts at 1-star. Now, just so everybody is aware, you might look at it and say, well, $10, well, that might not make me do a flip, Cedric. There's a significant amount of you that have free $10 bills that are coming to you, like completely free for not doing anything additional. Okay, this is additional to what's already in place. So, again, it starts off at that 1-star code, 2-star code, 3-star. Now, it starts to get sexy. Once you get promoted to the 3-star level, it goes down 4 levels. So as soon as you are a 3-star, not a 3-star manager, as soon as you are a 3-star and above, you're going to get these $10 unilevel bonuses down 4 levels. So as people are sponsoring other people, you're going to get an additional $10 unilevel bonus, ladies and gentlemen. This is all in your enroller organization. So this is a big deal. So take advantage of that. I mean, that is what I like to call free money. And it is what it is. So, this right here is the rank advancement. Go ahead,
and
Ray,
just, and so just one last thing there is, think about it. People that are in, you know, what we used to call the 2-star code, now called the legacy code. Let's say you enroll Tony, and Tony is your 4th person, and Tony enrolls 2 people. Okay, well, you're legacy coded to him, so you would make $200 because Tony did, right? But actually now you make $220 because you make $110 each. Okay, so that $10 applies to your foundation and to your legacy. That's just an extra $10 bonus on every person that falls in there. So that, I mean, that's pretty darn awesome, especially if you're starting to build a team or you're just getting started. Some people brought in 1 person, and that 1 person sponsored 10 people. Well, you now just made $100 versus no bucks.
That is a big deal. That is a big deal. That's an extra $10, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of that. And Ray, this right here is well, hold on. Let me hit this really quick. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a reiteration of the rank advancement bonuses. We already ran over that. So these are again all matching bonuses as you hit these ranks. And this right here, this right here got me so freaking excited. This is what really kicked in. Now, Ray, do maybe the first 2, and let me take the rest. Do just maybe the first 2.
All right, this will probably result in the largest paycheck increases right here. In that, in the old enroller match, you got a, depending on what rank you were, you got a 5 to 10% match on your personally enrolled, and that was the highest. Then you got a 5% match of who they enrolled and a 3% match of who they enrolled. Okay, so kind of an arbitrary 1, 2, 3 level. Well, now you can earn all the way up to 40% of the binary match as a gold ambassador, or if you look, you know, starting at 4-star manager and above, you're earning more than 10%. Now, it used to be for you to earn 10% match on your personally enrolled, you had to enroll one person in the last 30 days. Some people don't know that rule, but that was actually the rule. That rule has been thrown out the window. You no longer have that requirement, but you can now earn more than 10%. Then what it does is it goes hunting, okay? Now, I definitely have this, and I know Cedric does, and I know several other leaders do. It actually goes hunting. Instead of an arbitrary 1, 2, 3 level, it actually goes and hunts for 4-star managers. So if you have a 4-star manager that is 20 generations below you, okay, so you have a bunch of people that maybe haven't had, haven't built a huge team yet, but one person way down 20 generations away is a 4-star manager, you get a percentage of them, and you can take it from there. But this will, I believe, this will generate the largest pay increase for most people.
I think the pay increase is going to be very, very significant. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind, because I started playing with the numbers, and the numbers actually were pretty doggone freaky. The numbers are pretty freaky, and I want everybody to really, really get this so everybody absorbs what it actually means, because it means a big deal. And I want to start over here at the 3-star level. Okay, 5% personally enrolled, 5% on level number 1. 3-star manager, 10% and 5%. Ray just hit the 4-star manager, 10% and 10%. And again, don't forget that it goes hunting. This person could be 20 levels, 30 levels, 50 levels, 6,000 levels deep, and you're still going to match it. Go up to 4-star director, you're getting a 15% matching check on their binary, ladies and gentlemen. 15% on your personally enrolled, 10% on theirs, 5% on theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's very, very significant, because just like Ray said, it was 10, 5, and 3. That was the number, 10, 5, and 3. And that's 15, 10, and 5, but it gets bigger. Go ahead, Ray.
And that was only if you had recruited one in the last 30 days, which, as you start to build a team, maybe you don't do that. I mean, not everyone recruits, lots and lots of people every single month. Now you don't. That has been thrown out the window. Now it's just a much better percentage, and it goes much deeper.
So if you're out there, helping a lot of people and going deep and spending time with a lot of your reps, this is very, very significant, ladies and gentlemen, because again, it's not that personal thing. You're going deep, which is really, really key. 5-star, 20% matching, 15% level 1, 10% 2, 5% on level 3. Then 6-star, you see, is 25%, 20, 15, and 10. For those of you that were wondering why Ray always answers his phone, now you know. The man is getting paid. He gets paid to help you, and it's even more now. So he's got every benefit, as well as every other leader on this phone. That's for sure. But it goes all the way up to 40%, as you can see. And before, it was maxed out at that lovely little 10. So take advantage of that, because that is definitely a big deal. The bonuses are still in place, ladies and gentlemen. These haven't changed. We're not going to reiterate these, because you should already know these. So all the bonuses are still there. The legacy bonuses, the foundation bonuses, the matching bonuses, none of those things have changed. Okay, all those bonuses are definitely still in place. The fast track collector bonuses, the legacy bonuses, all those are good things. So go into your back office, log into your back office, and make sure you take advantage of this update for number 1. Okay, for number 2, already. One of the things that we want to do is that we know that a lot of people, just from this Numis University this weekend, we had a lot of excitement come out of this weekend, and a lot of people enrolling reps already. I've actually seen 3 reps enrolled since we've been on this webinar, ironically, which is just so sexy to see. But ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. Here's the reality. You want to be promoting like mad. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we're going to do, we've got a webinar obviously tomorrow, and this webinar happens each and every week. This is a Ray Higdon webinar, and I'm going to jump on there with them on tomorrow. This happens each and every week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And backed by popular demand, especially for those of you that have been looking for them, the Wednesday webinars are going right back into effect, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be on the lookout for it. I'm going to add it to our Ray's list as well, so you'll be getting that within that email. If you're not on Ray's list getting emails, make sure you go to rayhigdon.com and get on this list so you can get the emails from Numis that Ray sends out on a consistent basis to keep you updated on everything. So we want you to drive traffic for our webinar tomorrow so we can sign up a boatload of people for you and assist you in getting up this rank. And you can simply send the people to numis-matching-coded-bonus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up here on Microsoft Word here really quick and just type it up on the screen really quick. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it's numis-matching-coded-bonus. So just send them to www.numis-matching-coded-bonus. Send them there tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We will be there doing a presentation for you to sign up your representative inside of Numis and start rocking out 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot of momentum coming from this. I mean, I know a lot of people have been wondering what's been going on. Kind of said it's been on the sidelines a little bit, blah, blah, blah. It's getting ready to get real funny. Ladies and gentlemen, start driving traffic because we're going to have some fun and assist you in every way possible in exploiting this compensation plan, taking advantage of what's being set right before your eyes, and obviously collecting as much gold and silver as you possibly can. And Ray, you want to add anything before I bring out that super duper stud out there in Canada?
Yeah, I just want to let you know that link is it's also in your back office under calendar. It's the 8 o'clock one we do every single Tuesday, but I'm gonna have Cedric on there, and it's something that use that excitement, use the excitement of this new comp plan. We're gonna really tear it down and see. There's something. The powerful thing about the Tuesday 8 o'clock webinar is that I always have a 9 o'clock training that's for members only. So I actually leverage it. Okay, when I do that 8 o'clock webinar, which I'm going to do with Cedric tomorrow, I leverage that training. And so that training is only for members. So I actually say, hey guys, you want to join now so that you can get in on that training. So we do leverage that. So get as many people on there, numis-business-presentation.com, and let's tear it up tomorrow. And then we're going to tear it up on Wednesday. We're doing the heavy lifting for you guys. You just need to be an inviter.
That's it. Just be a professional inviter. Stop trying to explain this. Well, what is it all about, Tony? Get on a webinar and check it all out. If I try to explain it to you, I'm going to screw it up. Well, tell me a little bit about it. They're going to tell you everything at 8 o'clock. Don't explain it, ladies and gentlemen. You are a professional inviter. That's it. You are a professional inviter. Before I pull out Irwin and Larry to kind of end the call off, I want to tell you a story, and this story was told to me, and I forgot who exactly told me this story because I want to give them credit for it. But I want to give you exactly what someone did inside of a business, and this is a true story. Now, I'm not going to mention the name, but there was a gentleman that was mentally retarded inside of his primary business, making over $15,000 a month, and he was mentally retarded. Okay, now, how was he making $15,000 a month and he was mentally retarded? All he did was do what his upline told him to do. Now, he passed out CDs. That's it. His business presentation was on the CD, had people listen to the CD and then go to the website. That was their spiel. Okay, now, a mentally retarded person, all he did every single day was pass out a bunch of CDs. That's it. He could barely talk. Now, I do not want to try to imitate him on the phone because it wouldn't be fair, because I really don't think it's funny. I actually think it's actually appealing, to be frank with you, because if a mentally retarded person that could barely speak can get out and pass out CDs and get people to look at it, and a lot of people were wondering, well, how will people pay attention to him? Well, as he started to try to talk, he could barely talk, and he was stuttering, and he would put the CD in their hand, and they would see him walk to a $50,000 car and drive away. They paid attention. He was mentally retarded. All he did was did the system. He was a professional inviter. That's it. That's all you got to do. Keep it as simple as you possibly can. If you do that, everything else is going to be gravy for you. You know, we're going to have the webinars for you, and if it's up to me, if it's up to me, we're going to crank this thing back up 5 days a week again. So give us the reason to do it twice a day, 5 days a week. I would love to do 2-3 live webinars every single day. We got enough people on this team that can handle it. We want to make sure that you're making money, because when everybody's making money, the company is successful, you're successful, and it's a win-win all the way around. Now, with that, I want to go and tap into I want to go all the way up north because obviously I'm way down south down here in Florida, you know, where it's normally warm, but it's pretty chilly these days. I'm going to go way up north to, you know, where they get really, really warm with scarves and super duper bear jackets and all that good stuff. You know, Canada. There's a couple of people on this webinar that is in Canada. And I want to pull out my good friend and business partner, Mr. Irwin McKinn. And the reason why I want to pull Irwin out is for a couple of reasons. Number one, Irwin is the #1 income earner inside of Canada, period, space. For number two, okay, a lot of us on this line utilize the internet as well as offline marketing, but Irwin is doing extremely well with PBRs and offline marketing inside of Canada, and it's just exploding the business. So one of the things that I wanted to do was bring out Irwin so he could kind of, you know, give a little reflection of what he felt about the compensation plan enhancements, as well as some of the energy that he's bringing back from Numis University, someone who flew way from Canada, and he just got back home today from Numis University. So let's go out there and let's pull up. Let's find Irwin here really quick, and we're going to be done in about 5 to 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So let's find Irwin. Where is Irwin? Irwin, where are you, buddy? Let's find you. Saw you a minute ago. There you go. Unmute. Hey, Larry. Larry, I'm going to need you to unmute Irwin for me, please.
All right, let me see. Hold on a second. He's unmuted.
Hey, Irwin, can you hear us, buddy? Irwin, are you there? Irwin, are you there, my friend? All right, we might have some technical difficulties out there in Canada with Irwin. Irwin, can you hear me? All right, well, go back to the mute button there, Larry. We might have some technical difficulties out there with Irwin in Canada. I know he was going to do some PBR, so maybe he jumped off there and he's still showing up on our screen. Well, we'll go ahead and end off the webinar with this. Larry, you were at the actual Numis University this weekend with us. You reside here in Tampa, Florida. You've been in Numis since the inception, about 4 months after our team really jumped on board with Numis. What are some of the things that you really picked up this weekend, and why are you so extremely excited? Because you've been on the phone with me freaking all day since we left, man. It's been driving me nuts. So tell everybody why you're driving me nuts.
Well, this has been, in a lot of ways, the best, but I've seen the numbers of people there was increased. The quality of the people has gone up. The excitement has gone up. There's just been a lot of things that have moved up. I don't know what else is. I mean, you guys have said it all. I've run the risk of being quite redundant. But I think where I'm at right now, Cedric, with my team and people that are listening, is just really 3 things, man. It's first of all, this is my new mantra for the year. It's 3 words, and you know it's on that CD I gave you. But the first thing is admitting that what went down in 2010 was just not good enough, and it's certainly not good enough for 2011. And that whatever I was doing in 2010, and there's some people on this call from other opportunities, and I know that. And I just want to say to everybody, you got to make an admission that where you were and what you were doing is probably not the thing to do. If you're inside of Numis, whatever you weren't doing has to stop. Because Numis has positioned everything we have for the greatest possible benefit. This is the perfect storm now. This is the time to be in Numis and the time to do something. And the next is to submit to the leadership that's here with the webinars and the things that you talked about. All a person, as you said, has to do is just get people here. I mean, I got a lot of people here. I was on the phone all day. But Ray says something I've been sharing I wrote an article about this. And it is simply the one-liner question is, you're not looking for extra income, are you? I've been asking that all day, and I've had people looking at the Numis presentation all day right off of that one little sentence. It's not that complicated, but we got to be willing to submit to the leadership. And then the biggest part, man, is total sellout commitment to our dreams and our goals. There are people standing on the corners here in Tampa, Florida, panhandlers that make more a year than some of the people on this phone in their business. Why? Because they're showing their opportunity on the surface of that cardboard box. So they have more guts to expose what they do on the street corner than half the people on this call. It's about exposure. Just expose the business. You know, none of us lack fundamental skills. What we lack is guts and heart. We just got to suck it up. This is the time to suck it up. and Cedric, Ray, David, and a bunch of other leaders, we're all going to move on with the people that want to move on with us. And the only way we can move on is to help those that raise their hand and stand up and say, it's my time. It's my season. As I say it a lot. You're the chosen one for your household. When you look in the mirror and you want to know how to change that situation, the only person that's capable is the one that you see in the mirror. God, there is nobody that can check in the game. No, there's no overtime. It's on you. So that's all. So I guess I could say a lot more, but that's what's on my heart is that we don't really have a whole lot of time to spend just messing around trying to really dive deep. I know we went deep tonight on the comp plan, but where we really should go deep is in exposures. That's where we should really, really, really go deep, Cedric, is in exposures. And all the other stuff will work itself out. Numis has not missed a check. They've never been late. They have never missed a check. They have never been late. You know, we need to go deep in exposures. Losing sleep. Giving up your fears. That's where it's at, man. So before I get going to third gear. I'm just fired up, man. I told you today, man, I've been all over the city of Tampa, getting locations for functions, contacting people, Skyping people, emailing people all day. I'm in another place in my head because I can see it. And the question is, can the 200 people on this call see it too?
And you know what, Larry, the fact that one of the reasons why you can see it in the energy that you have is because of the actual events. And we talk about it all the time, ladies and gentlemen, that you got to get to events. You have to get to events because this is where your energy level kicks in at. This is where you get your belief level. This is where you're around all the other people. You're around all those naysayers in your backyard and at your job and people telling you that it doesn't work and all that good stuff. You've got to get around the positive energy and the people that actually have the results, and you pick that up at these events. So it's very, very important that you get to them now. Irwin just sent me a text message, and I know it's getting late, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pull out Irwin, and then we're going to call it a wrap. So just give us about 3-4 more minutes because you definitely want to hear from Irwin. Hey, Larry, can you go ahead and pull Irwin out again for me, buddy? Go ahead and
yeah.
Craney just sent me a text.
No problem. Stand by a second. I'm looking for him now. Let's see here. Okay, he's unmuted.
Hey, Irwin, can you hear us, buddy? Irwin going once, Irwin going twice. Irwin, I don't know what's going on, champ. I've got you unmuted, but it's unmuted on your computer here. You called in on the line or something. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Not 100%. Can you hear us, buddy? I hear something going on in the background.
Yeah, I think he's making an attempt.
Okay, all righty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have no Irwin. We're going to try to get Irwin on the next call. Irwin, one more time for you, buddy. Are you there? All righty, we have no Irwin. We apologize for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Irwin will get you on the next round. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Ray, on behalf of Larry, on behalf of Chris Kent, ladies and gentlemen, numis-businesspresentation.com. Drive your traffic there for tomorrow, Tuesday night. Also, be on the lookout for the blast about the Wednesday webinar. There will be a link going on with that as well, so be on the lookout for that. And also, just keep in mind, keep this business extremely simple. You have three-way help with myself, with Larry, with Ray. You've got the leaders that are out there. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone. We will assist you. That is what we're here for. We're on this career path. But those of you that were wondering, don't wonder anymore. There's a reason why we had this webinar. Get your wondering out of your head. Have zero doubt. And let's move forward and rock and roll. I would like to thank all of the leaders that are on this call. What's up, Superstar Mia? I see you. What's up, Fabiola? I thank all of the superstars that are on this call, all of the leaders that are on this call. We really, really appreciate it. Let's get re-engaged, ladies and gentlemen. Connect on Facebook. Let's rock and roll and do what we have to do. numis-businesspresentation.com. Let's jump on there tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Get on Ray Higdon's training at 9 p.m. And then we will have the Numis Business Presentation again at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. You have somewhere each and every day to plug people into. Take advantage of it. If you have any questions about the compensation plan, log into your back office, study the actual brochure that's back there. It's ready for you to download and check out. And I promise you, if you see what we see, it might be a little bit hard for you to sleep. If you have any other questions after that, feel free to give one of the leaders out there a call, such as myself or Ray or Larry. On behalf of all the gentlemen that are on this call, God bless everybody out there. We look forward to seeing all of you at the bank. Let's get re-engaged. Let's rock and roll. Let's make some money. And I'm going to end this webinar as I end all the rest of them. There's only 3 types of people on the planet: the type of people that make things happen, the type of people that watch things happen, and the type of people that say, what happened? We're going to give you the opportunity to figure out which one you are tonight. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Bye, guys.